that there is now a federal investigation into this case of the death of Eric Garner. You saw the video there. This was captured on videotape. And now we have a statement from the police officer involved here, Officer Daniel Pantaleo, quote, "It is never my intention to harm anyone, and I feel very bad about the death of Mr. Garner. My family and I include him and his family in our prayers, and I hope that they will accept my personal condolences for their loss." So as we look back at those live pictures, let's bring in our panel. Steve Hayes, senior writer for the Weekly Standard, A.B. Stoddard, associate editor of The Hill, and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer. Okay, Charles, obviously the timing of this, the grand jury just came out.
The timing is unfortunate. This has no connection with what happened in Ferguson. From looking at the video, the grand jury's decision here is totally incomprehensible. It looks as if at least they might have indicted him on something like involuntary manslaughter at the very least. The guy actually said, "I can't breathe," which ought to be a signal that, and the guy was unarmed, and the crime was as petty as they come.
Which was loose cigarettes,
He was selling loose cigarettes, which is, I mean, in and of itself, almost absurd that somebody has to die over that. But here's the problem. You have a feeling, as I do, I think anybody who looks at the video would think that this was the wrong judgment. The problem is in our system, you don't have double jeopardy. If a grand jury makes a mistake, that's the way it is. However, because of our history, there's a way to get around that, and that's a federal investigation. But again, because of our history, that has to be a violation of civil rights, which implies that this was a racial incident. So in order to get the second examination of this without having double jeopardy, they have to squeeze the case into one of deliberate racism. And I don't know that there is any evidence for that, but when the president says another case of inequality in treatment, the implication it was about race, whereas you could easily explain it as one cop out of the tens of thousands in the country who might have acted improperly, the use of excessive force or whatever. But the idea that it was a racial incident is required if you're going to have a second investigation. And that, I think, is a problem that derives from our history, and it forces this into the category of racism.
I want to put up two